wonderful morning to you, and thank you for joining us on your regular Saturday morning tradition. It's Dawn on MBC. My name is Jumoke, and I hope you had a great weekend. I want to start off by saying congratulations to all graduating students across, all right, wherever is it from the high school, is from the college. I want to say a big congratulations to you. You worked hard and you deserve it. It's graduation season, so congratulations. Have the best of it, and we wish you all the best as you go to the next level of your life. Also, it's Memorial Day weekend. Yes, I know people are all getting set, going out, preparing things, what's going to happen. All right, it's a lot happening around right now. But hey, we still got to do what we got to do, right? Be here for you, bring you a quick review of what's happening around Africa in our headlines review. Of course, it's a tight one this morning because I'm being joined by my guests. I have some of them around already. I've got some of the ones on the way coming, so make sure you don't miss it. If you want to blink, make it very fast because anything can happen within a second. Once again, you're welcome to Dawn, and of course, we've got gist for you, what's happening in Nigeria and some other parts of the world. So make sure you don't miss any part of it. Once again, let's take a quick break now, and Dawn will be right back with you. You're welcome back to Dawn on MBC. And this morning, I'm being joined by a wonderful woman who's got a very large heart for charity. And her name is Dr. Esther. Okay, for those around the city of Houston, many of them know you. But for those who are tuning in for the very first time, I have with me Dr. Esther. She is the founder and director of Ugo Sunday Foundation, an organization that creates a platform for her to extend financial support and vocational education scholarship to local organizations such as the Star of Hope, Houston Women's Center, Fort Bend Women's Center, and like organizations that help women and girls discover their purposes. Also, she is a CEO of Providence Adults Clinic. Not just that, she is a wonderful woman who has a PhD, she has an MED, she has a BSc. She's got it all together, okay? Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, and you're looking great.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so let's talk about the Ugo Sunday Foundation.
Yes.
Why did you really come up with this?
Yeah, this was 2003. 13. My dad lived with me until he died, 2011. And in my family, we are 5 girls.
Okay.
And before the boys started coming, and I'm from eastern part of Nigeria.
In Africa?
Yes, and then in my culture, the woman is up down there, while the male is up there. So, but irrespective of the culture, my dad made sure everybody, all 5 of us, had a degree.
Great.
So I'm thinking about my colleagues back home. They don't have the opportunity I had. So when he died, it's like, okay, how do we remember this great man? And I said, okay, there are a lot of less privileged women out there. Nobody knows them. We can give them a second chance. And that's what we are doing. And also in line with United Nations Millennium, helping women and children is the target. So that's why it was formed.
So it was based out of your personal experience from where you come from, that people don't really have access to education, especially when you're a girl, that made you form this. Now, let me ask, there are so many organizations and non-for-profits, you know, charity organizations that focus on girls and women. What makes yours different from all these other PACs?
Well, what makes us different is we are targeting. Our target group are women who nobody knows about, women in shelter, women who are coming out from prison, they need to be reinstated, and then women with HIV/AIDS, single moms who are really struggling, and of course widows. I see I run an adult healthcare, and I see a lot of them, and you know, that's what makes us. Our group is not just ordinary group. These are women that have been written off. And so we give them hope that say, hey, there is a second chance out there if you can do it.
So where does the funding come from for your organization?
Yeah,
because you do a lot of speaking, being a non-for-profit. You try to reinstate women. You try to help them, you know. So how do you get funding for this?
Yeah, that's a problem right now, but individuals, actually. Our first launching was last year, July last year, and usually small business owners, pharmacies. Our sponsors last year were about 6 of them. These are, you know, business people. We've not really had any major breakthrough with big organizations. I guess they are watching us to make sure we are standing. So even this year, we wrote Target, Walmart, all of them, JCPenney, HEB, they are still looking at us with one eye.
They want to be sure of what you.
They want to be sure that we are, you know, reliable before they can do that. So this year we don't have any fund. We are relying on a public fund. Yeah, we're relying on a public who understand our cause and who believe
individuals who will support this cause.
All
right, my guest this morning is Dr. Esther, and she's the founder of the Ugo Sunday Foundation. And we'll talk more with her when we'll come back after this break. Don't go anywhere, it's Dawn. Well, that's something from Keith Daniel titled Would You? You know, it's just a toast of almost every young Nigerian girl or boy right now. The song talks about Would You. That's a remix featuring Tiwa Savage and Davido, and it's called Would You Remix. Now, I still have with me right here in the studio Dr. Esther, and we're still talking about the coming foundation, the charity fundraiser that you're having.
Yes.
Now, let's go really into the fundraiser. Now, when is this fundraiser, and how is it going to run?
Yeah, the fundraising event is coming up on Friday, May 22,
Okay.
from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay, 7 to 11.
Yes. No, there's no African time here, please.
Okay. That is a major thing.
Yes.
That's usually a major
Yeah,
issue.
because
So,
we're in a very big hotel. Wyndham Hotel on I-10 and Highway 6. They
Okay.
call them Park Road. That's
okay.
so, hotels, by 12 o'clock, they're closed. So that's where we're going to be. That's the venue.
Okay, for the event.
Yes, for the
And
event.
you said it's on the 22nd. This is the second one, funny enough. So if you want to make this year's own different from that of last year?
Well, we're inviting a lot of people. We have Miss World that is flying in from Atlanta
Okay.
as a guest of honor. And we have other dignitaries that are coming in from Philadelphia, California, San Antonio. Yes.
Okay, so a quick look at this. This is what the invitation looks like, and it says empowering women. You're invited to the second annual Ugo Sunday Be Lifted Charity Gala to benefit women in shelters and poverty. Friday, May 22nd, 2015 at 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Once again, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. No
Please.
African time.
No African
Okay,
time.
and it's at Wyndham Houston Energy Corridor Hotel, 14703 Park Road Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77079. And tickets. Now, I was going to go there. Is it a free entry?
No.
Because I see here tickets, $40.
Yeah. $40. Actually, they were asking me, what kind of dinner is $40 in that kind of a hotel? I said, well, the idea is to allow people to come in mass. And because that's what we're going to be relying. So if you're out there watching us, you're invited to come. It's $40.
All right, it's just what
and
you
then,
exactly.
Yeah. And then if you come in and, it touches your heart to support these women, you are welcome.
So what's your expectation? How many people are you thinking will be here?
We are rooting for about 100
People.
guests.
Okay.
So I told the hotel people, I said, well, how about if we have more? The lady told me, no problem. Since you don't have any major sponsor, let them come. Make it open. Let them come.
Okay.
So everybody
And
is
how much
invited.
are you thinking you may raise? At least there should be an estimate, right?
Yes. Well, we are looking at between $30,000.
Okay.
$30,000, and that will give a chance to about 25 women.
Okay. In doing what?
school.
In school, in
Yes,
education, and
vocational.
vocational.
Yes, that's what
okay,
we are focusing
training.
on. We do a lot of things, but right now, the women in need
Okay.
in Houston metropolis, those are the people we are focusing on.
And this is a non-for-profit organization that is duly registered here.
Yes.
Yes.
We are 501c, so every dime you give us is tax deductible.
Okay.
Yeah, those that were present last year, they got our EIN, so it doesn't matter how much you give us, $10, $5, it doesn't matter. The amount doesn't matter. Just show up and give it with all your heart.
Okay.
It's tax deductible.
All right.
Yes.
So just before I let you off now, let's say, what's your final message to people who are watching at home who really want to know, okay, what can I do to be part of Ugo Sunday Foundation? How can I assist? How can I help them? What do you want to say to them?
Check us out on our website, ugosundayfoundation.org. We are asking that we need volunteers, actually. Volunteers can make a lot of things happen.
Okay.
I'm not doing this alone. There are a lot of women who are backing me up, professional women, who are backing me up to make sure, we are moving on.
Okay.
So go to our website, you see how to donate, you see how to support us. If you don't financially, you can be a volunteer, you can know somebody who knows some executive in the company. Just, we are now asking for major sponsors. And
And even if you run a small business, it
Yes,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't
You're
matter.
welcome on board.
You are welcome on board. And for those who supported us last year, we are listing all of them. We're going to thank them and let them know that we appreciate that effort. So we're believing God this time around that the individuals will do what they did last year.
Okay, and of course the saying that says, if you help a woman, you help a whole nation,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
it's true, and that's what you're calling on.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then,
well-meaning
you
people.
know, education, we're focusing on that because knowledge is power, my dear.
Right.
Knowledge is power. I came here as an adult, and without knowledge, baby, you're going nowhere. So give a man a fish, they say, you know, you feed him for a day.
And you teach him how to
Teach
fish.
him how to
you
do
fish it, you
the
teach him,
fishing.
yeah. Yes. All right, that's the much we can take from her this morning, and we hope you've enjoyed every bit of our discussion with Dr. Esther. Don't forget, it's all about the Empowering Women fundraiser coming up on the 22nd of May here in the city of Houston, 7 to 11 p.m. at the Wyndham Houston Energy Corridor Hotel on Park Road Boulevard. Okay, just on Highway 6 and I-10, right
yes.
there. It's on it's there, right there for you. And for more information, you could go onto their website,
Sunday.org.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break right now and we'll see what's coming up next. It's still done on NBC. Keep your phones ready because guess what? I have someone coming in that will interest you. Don't go anywhere.
What happened? It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Come on. I'm a gay sort telling me what I know. I've traveled all over the world to chill. I've never seen a girl like this before. They killing me slow. And the dance they do too sweet. Gonna go Tobado. Sexy lady Tobado. This kind of dance they do as on to. Say which kind of dance yeah, you they do for me as on to. Ha, see, say which kind of dance yeah, you they do. Say this kind of dance they do like say you they use juju. Say this kind of dance they do like say you they make me mad oh. Say this kind of dance they do like say you they make me crazy oh. Say baby which kind of dance they do as on to. Say this kind of dance they do for make me crazy as on to. Say this kind of dance they do they make man crazy as on to. Say this guy dance they do too sweet for man as to. Ha. Say baby dance yo kejijo. Ha. Kejijo baby dance yo kejijo. Ha. Kejijo. Oh yeah dance yo kejijo. Ha. Kejijo baby dance yo kejijo. Ha. Kejijo. Ha. To the verse 2 and the time is 2:15. Say the girl say make you go 10-2. She dey ask if I go chop banku. Ha. I go chop banku. Mommy say I go chop banku. With the way you do your sexy wine. Why I no go chop banku? Ah, come on then. Baby just come on then. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. Ah, come on then. Baby just come on then. Ah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you're welcome back from that, and we had two lovely musical videos for you back to back. The first one we did bring you was Wizkid's performance here in the city of Houston during the industry night, and that was during the Offshore Technology Conference. They had him perform. I heard it was an overwhelming one. It was really interesting. It was a sold-out concert, and it really performed great. So we did bring you the highlights of the event right there. That was him singing on the stage and doing all the dancing, jumping around. What we know Wizkid to do, right? And right after Wizkid, we brought you something from Mastercraft featuring Olamide, yes, Bado himself, and talking about Indomie dance. Well, a lot of dance steps right now in Nigeria. We have the Indomie one, you have Shoki, you have, there's just too many of them right now. But hey, let's go to something pretty interesting and something celebratory right now, at least for the meantime, like my guest said, but I think it's something worth celebrating either ways. And it's about the fact that so many of us woke up on Monday to the news that the World Health Organization has declared Liberia Ebola-free, and that called for celebration. And there was a national holiday in the country where people rejoiced, wearing whites, dancing around, lots of cultural performances. You know, it was just like an opportunity for them to, it was a sigh of relief because Liberia happened to suffer a lot during this epidemic. So right now I'm being joined in the studio by Mr. Cyrus Max Doe. He is a registered nurse here with 8 years experience in total. He's worked with intensive care rehab, long-term care, medical and surgical, and now in the emergency department. Not just that, he is the founder and president of the Association of Liberian Nurses in America, ALINA. And this organization is non-for-profit and in accordance with the IRS code, exclusively for nurses of Liberian descent who are presently residing in the U.S., established in 2012. And the aim is to help improve the field of practice of nursing in Liberia through education, accreditation, professional standards, and services. And also a member of the Liberian Association of Greater Houston. So you're welcome to the show, Mr. Doe.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's take it up from here. When you heard the news, well, what did you feel? How did you feel at that point, and when did you hear the news?
Well, personally, I've been monitoring it, looking forward to the day that, Ebola will finally be out of Liberia. It was great. It was really great hearing that Liberia is Ebola-free, so, people can now move about, doing things normally, and celebrate, relatives. If you haven't seen your relative in a very, very long time, as Africans, our tradition is we hug each other and kiss each other on the cheek. So with Ebola being there, none of those were, possible. But now that it is out, we can freely do those things, traditionally celebrate, who we actually are and what we really do. So it is great to be declared, Ebola-free, yeah.
Okay, so talking about this declaration to Liberians here and back home, it was like a huge sigh of relief for everyone. Like you rightly said, the tradition in Liberia is to hug, give a peck, and all of those things. But at that point, where the epidemic was there, people had to restrain from doing that. You became suspicious of one another. You were not sure who had it or who didn't have it. And at some point, it was said that this broke relationships. Even within the churches, people became scared of one another, became leery of hugging. What do you think is the next step to this?
Well, the next step, I know primarily will be, to make sure that this doesn't come back. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything really compares to a bioterrorist, warfare. So primarily it will be to ensure that it doesn't come back. The concern is with the neighboring countries of Guinea and Sierra Leone, still having to do with, the Ebola. We need to be careful, how we immigrate into Sierra Leone or Sierra Leoneans immigrate into Liberia and vice versa, or even into Guinea. So we still need to keep our foot or both feet on the gas pedal and make sure that, we do not really concede into, a similar situation, a recurrence of the Ebola crisis.
Okay, let's just chip in this bit of fact, let's throw it in the mix, right? According to the World Health Organization, Liberia recorded about 4,700 from the disease, death from the disease, and this is far more, the most of any nation in the epidemic. And as a Liberian, a nurse practitioner, how do you feel about this piece of facts, the number of people who died during this epidemic?
It's devastating. Mm-hmm. That's relatively a very, very large number in a very short time frame. The problems with those numbers is that, we look at, what it has done. Nothing compares to actually, losing lives and properties, but then you have orphans that are left, and who takes care of them. And then you have those Ebola survivors that are still being stigmatized, mm-hmm. by what they have. There are still problems, but, we went through civil wars and people die of hunger and all those other ones, but now a healthcare crisis, to lose 4,700 people, I think that was a lot to really go through.
Okay. I think there's a call coming in right here. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Is this MBC?
Yes, please. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, okay. This is Femi calling from Sugarland.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Femi. You want to be part of the show? Right now we're discussing the news by World Health Organization that Liberia is Ebola-free. What do you want to say to the Liberian community here in Houston? I have one of the members sitting with us.
Yeah, number one, I'm going to say congratulations. It's really a good news. Mm-hmm. And my question is, what way forward now that Liberia is Ebola free. I'm sure they're going to need some help from World Health Organization, from African Union, and again from the government. What is the plan? What is the next line of action?
Okay. Thank you. Let's pop that question at him right here. And thank you very much for calling. So you heard that. What do you have to say?
Well, the plan will be, like I said, to make sure we do not concede into a recurrence, of the Ebola crisis, and even any other, infectious disease, coming into the country. That's primarily the plan. Now, let's be mindful that even long before Ebola, Liberia healthcare, wasn't really there, and Ebola actually exposed us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, this is Femi calling back from Sugarland.
Okay.
The call cut off.
Okay. Yes. So I popped your question to him already, and then he's just giving answers to it. Talking about the way forward. So thank you very much for calling, Mr. Femi. We do appreciate
You're welcome.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So yeah, the way forward will be to put strategies into place where we actually prevent it from recurring. Chances are still there that it could come back, given the fact that it is still in Guinea and still in Sierra Leone, and you have people immigrating across border lines into both countries. Primarily that's it, and other ones to be those already existing problems that we have. We really need to set principles and strategies into place that we also treat them. Because during the Ebola crisis, people with asthma or other treatable conditions could not really be treated because healthcare workers they had fear, of contracting the virus. It's not something. When somebody has the virus, unless they start showing signs and symptoms of the problems, that's the only time they're infected.
Basically,
but
right.
you can still carry it. And there were some other conditions that have the same signs and symptoms as the Ebola virus. So it's nothing like you can tell. But I think going forward, we need to be really, really meticulous about our healthcare.
Okay. We're gonna go for a break, but let's quickly take another call. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
MBC. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Robert. I'm calling from Houston.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Robert. My guest is the president of the Association of Liberian Nurses in America, and we're talking
Yes.
about the recent news of Liberia being Ebola-free. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, I just want to find out how was Liberia able to accomplish that by all the challenges.
Okay, that's the question. If I heard you right, how did Liberia manage to conquer this?
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Robert, and do have a great Saturday. You listen
Thank
to
you.
your answers, yes.
It was a multi-organizational, effect. I think it got to the point where the news saturated the entire country, and even the elders of the traditional elders of the villages, everybody became involved and started to carry the news that Ebola was real. We all saw effects of it, so I think everybody got put into it, and everybody, spread the news out there and partook in hand washing and even being very cautious about who are going to, who are interacted with. Even families that had relatives that contracted the virus will even want to stay away. As difficult as that was, but they still had to do it because, there are stories that, families in a single home and even in an entire community, died of the effects of the Ebola virus. So everyone partook in it, and I think that led to a great accomplishment.
All right, the show is still done on NBC. We'll take a quick break right now, and what we're about to show you is a song that was done by some group called All Stars in Liberia, and it was all about the Ebola virus to create awareness. Beyond just being a traditional ruler, everyone took part in creating awareness for this project. So let's take this, and I'll be back with my guests.
Hello, everybody. I'm Debbie Lawrence Yeru II, Country Representative, Accountability Lab, Liberia. The Accountability Lab, Business Startup Center, Monrovia, Musician Union of Liberia, and Sejo Magazine including two of Liberia's amazing music powerhouses, the T-Bone Studio and Rare Eye Studio. We've come together to create an amazing idea called Save Liberia. Ebola has struck our people, and we brought all Liberian artists together to do an amazing song. Please enjoy this video, and may this video encourage you to do more and kick Ebola out of Liberia and West Africa. Thank you very much.
Looking out the windows, no one knows tomorrow. The shadow outside. How do we get here? How do we move on? How do we stay strong?
Yeah. From the north to the south, to the east to the west. Nowhere to hide or rest. From the front to the back, to the left to the right. My man, we caught up in the net.
That's something to enjoy your attention. And that's what it was spread in the nation. It's time that we combat this killer disease spreading through our land fast.
Save Africa. Let's stand together and fight against Ebola. One people, one voice. Standing together, we can overcome.
Our nurses and doctors are dying. That who would treat us so.
Our mothers and children are dying. Now who will love us so?
Celebrate on the terminal. Call them right now. When you're in the midway, man, the terminal. United we stand together, we can. Yeah, that's stand as a team to protect the land.
You know life is priceless, and we only got one. If one is infected, we are heading for the storm.
Save Liberia. Save Africa. Let's stand together and fight against Ebola. One people, one voice. Standing together, we can overcome.
This epidemic is causing economic hardship. We need your help and intervention.
Africa is crying for help.
The media.
Oh, Lord, save Mama Liberia.
All I say and more.
It hurt me so bad to get and see the people dying from Ebola.
Save Liberia. Save Africa. Let's stand together and fight against Ebola. One people, one voice. Standing together, we can overcome.
Good what they were here, but then they got it. And when I did what?
Ebola Ebola tabe. Iho gwangwe mo prima ne kloklo. Bahe mo lo mo yepe. Mo pie cover.
There's no secret, no need to hide it.
What is real? Let us now take it for fun.
To give hope is to say help somebody and let the whole world know what's going on. Yeah, man. Liberia, Africa, Yanina, Ebola, go for you. I'm watching.
I see my eyes on my people how to die. Liberian be strong, we are overcome.
So no jam in Africa, no kissing, no hugging, no touching. To be frank, if you wanna be safe, minimum the book of boss, they know.
Too many people, them dying. Too many children, them crying. If you are living today, put up your lighter.
Try and save our lives. People are dying.
have been better.
Yep. Well, you just got us talking about some of the steps taken by the Liberian government to fight Ebola in Liberia. And I still have with me Mr. Max Doe. And now let's talk for this last part of the interview session. We're going to be talking about some of the lessons taken away from this epidemic for Liberians and for Liberia as a whole. What would you say?
Well, healthcare is everybody's concern. You know, infectious diseases, it's everyone's priority. So whenever something like Ebola, an infectious disease, or a virus, a bioterrorism organism it's somewhere in the country, it's everybody's concern. And everyone needs to be involved. You know, everybody needs to create, you know, a barrier so that, you know, if we look at how the virus is transmitted, we know it basically goes from by contact from person to person.
Right.
So creating a personal barrier and understanding, like, listen, I can suffer from this too, and this can affect me. And giving all my links, all my connections, you know, I can even transfer it or transmit it to somebody else. So we've seen the effects. I don't think it's anything anybody wants to go through. So everyone needs to really be on the lookout. Anybody exhibiting signs and symptoms, even if it is not, we cannot be our own doctors, but if we see those things, then we recognize them and call, you know, the proper healthcare authorities and say, listen, this looks like it, but let's make sure that it is not it, you know. And then there are still testing sites available in Liberia, and something like that can be done to halt, you know, any recurrence of it.
Okay, right now, before we come back, we'll take another break. Right now, we'll take a message from our sponsors, African Trinity Restaurant. When we come back on the other side, we'll be discussing what are some of the steps the association here in Houston took to help alleviate this suffering back at home in Liberia. So let's take a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be back with you. Okay, so that was a quick word from our sponsor, African Trinity. Big thank you to you for being part of Dawn on NBC. So right now, with you, Mr. Maxwell, let's talk about it. What were some of the steps the association here in Houston took to help educate people or even alleviate this suffering back home?
Well, the association, the Liberian Association, you know, created an awareness campaign and did fundraising, you know, collected supplies that they give to, you know, different healthcare organizations in Liberia, including the Liberian government, to help, you know, halt Ebola, you know, in its course. Now, the Association of Liberian Nurses in America also did the same, you know, to help create awareness and to even help recruit nurses to go back home. But, you know, given our personal responsibilities here in America and what is involved, there were proposals that we made through the Liberian diaspora, of which Dr. Dubaya, he lives in D.C. area, he's the secretariat. So we made proposals like medical evacuation in case anybody contracts the virus, compensation, travel reimbursements, and job security. So those are things that we did because, I mean, all those had to be processed with the U.S. Congress, you know, to allow us to return home. I was willing to, so for one, I was, and there were some other nurses that were willing. So those are steps that we took. We still have Liberia, you know, on our minds, Liberia at heart. So those were the things that we did, you know, even though we physically could not be there, but we made awareness about it, and we try to recruit nurses to go back.
Okay, so with Guinea and Sierra Leone yet to be completely free of Ebola, though the countries presently are recording single digits, of course we all know how long it took Liberia, even when it started recording single digits, to be completely rid of this virus. So what's your message to this the communities here too? We have the Sierra Leonean community, we have the Guinean community here in Houston. What's your message to them? You've been in here, you're out of the situation now.
Well, thankfully, you know, congratulations to everyone that has been a part of this, you know, Sierra Leoneans, Guineans, everyone combined, the African community here in Houston, that have been creating awareness, that have been supporting, you know, the struggle against the spread of Ebola. Now the reported cases are in single digits. Those are good signs. From coming to daily report from the thousands, from the high thousands to now we're in single digits, I think we're on the right track to, you know, West Africa being totally free. So let's continue to do the same things that we're doing. I'm sure what we're doing, they're working, so we can continue to do that. And everyone just need to be on the lookout for any sign that, somebody closer to me has it, because that's the easiest means through which, the disease can spread.
All right, so you did chip something in before the camera came back that you're going to be having an event sometime later this year, a fundraiser, right?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to put you on the spot now. We're going to be part of this.
Of
You'll
course.
let us know about
I
this
will
when
do
it's
that.
going to happen, right?
Yeah, definitely. We'll do that.
Okay, so just before I let you off now, what would you say to Liberians who are watching this show?
Well, hello, Liberia. This is a great news to hear that, the World Health Organization has declared us Ebola-free. I think so much thanks, congratulations to everyone that was a part of it. The United States government, the government of the People's Republic of China.
I'm sorry to cut you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Kemi from Houston.
Okay, hi, Kemi.
I just wanted to ask him to be very honest. Is he saying that if this hits Liberia again, they're more prepared than they were the first time? Would he honestly say that measures have been put in place to curtail this if it ever happened again?
No. What I said was, our goal now that Ebola is out, that our goal will be to make sure we put in, strategies, we put in measures to ensure that it doesn't come back. But in the very least scenario that it comes back, we can be prepared, to fight it so that it doesn't go to the extent that it goes, that it went. So, no, that was what I said. I'm not sure if we're actually very, very well prepared, to fight something like Ebola or something similar to it, but that we should ensure that we put preventive measures in place, to create a signal that we can halt it and make sure it doesn't go any further.
Okay, Kemi, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
All right, thank you very much and have a great Saturday. Okay, so you were passing a message across the Liberians here.
Yeah. So thankful, we're thankful that, we are now declared Ebola free, so we can go about doing our traditional things, being with the relatives and friends that we love to hang out with, hug them, kiss them without regrets or without being cautious. But again, special thanks to the government and people of the United States, the People's Republic of China, all those healthcare workers, that partook in it. So much condolences to the families of those bereaved in the process, those who lost their lives. Nothing can really repay, what you did, but we will always be thankful. We will always be grateful. Let's be healthy. Let's be very cautious, and let's practice, very, very safely. Let's be very meticulous in what we do as far as healthcare is concerned.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Max Doe. Right now, we'll take another break, and I'll be back to, wrap up the show. It's been a great one, but don't go anywhere yet because I will be back.
About the major thing that I feel, is the reason why this crisis happened. I know about the labs. I didn't hear anything say anything about the illegal labs in Sierra Leone, conducted by the CIA, which is an American, group, obviously. So what steps are taken into, looking at all these labs in Sierra Leone and, in Liberia?
Unfortunately, we're done with the guest, but I'll pass your message across to him. And if there's an answer, when it comes to the answer, we'll read it out on the show probably next weekend.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for calling. Okay, you're welcome back, and a big thank you to our guest this morning, Mr. Max Doe, the president of the Nurses Association, Liberian Nurses Association here in the United States. So now let's quickly talk about what's happening around, a quick gist before we wrap it up on the show today. And let's take it from the first one, right? If you're in Nigeria now, you've been following things happening. Well, it's interesting to let you know that social media has been buzzing with the gist of the Edo State governor getting married to a young lady. And then the question is, oh my God, what's wrong with that, right? This lady is not 18 years, all right? Initially, people were like, she's 20-something, but finally the gist is out. She's in her 30s. She's a former model, and she was an hair hostess, and she's getting married. She's of Ethiopian background. Hey, there is nothing bad. Those are some of the pictures from the wedding that held yesterday in Edo State with the Nigerian President-elect, General Muhammadu Buhari there. So it's a great one, you know. So we must say congratulations to the people's governor, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, and his lovely bride. Those are some of the pictures that, you know, came out from the wedding yesterday. So, hey, what's wrong, right? 63 getting married to 30-something. How people say his first daughter's age. Come on. Love is no respect of age, is it? Is there anything wrong with that? I'm sure someday we'll talk about age difference in marriage on this show, and we'd like to take your opinions on that. And also, let's go. There was this gist also about a purported son of the governor of Osun State. Governor Argbeshola's son was said to be arrested at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport with a large sum of money traveling outside of Nigeria. And people were all over social media saying, oh my God, with civil servants in Osun State not being paid, what's happening? But then there's been a statement from the governor's press secretary to refute this, to say none of his sons was arrested for any illegal or money laundering issue, that this is just a gimmick by detractors to say, okay, they were trying to play on the sensitivity. I'm quoting their statement now, that these people are trying to play on the sensitivity of the fact that many of the civil servants in Osun State have not yet been paid. And this, they say, is as a result of a delay for some funding that the state is expecting, unfortunately. So you heard the gist. I know it's traveling around. So Governor Argbeshola's has come out to say his son has not been arrested for carrying any large sum of money anywhere. So, well, also there's still some other gist around that we can't take all of. Of course, here in the United States, the Boston Marathon bomber has been sentenced to death. You know, despite this, I've been following this for so long, and I've heard a nun who came up to say, oh, I met with this guy, he's sorry for what he did and all of those things, but then the jury has decided he's sentenced to death, and probably what's going to happen next? Well, that doesn't return the lives of those who were lost, right? But we can only say justice will take its course. So, people, that's the much we can take on the show, the much we can bring to you from our studio this beautiful Saturday morning. Once again, before I wrap it up, I want to say congratulations to everyone who is graduating this weekend. Through the month of May is a graduation month. We wish you all the best in your next level in life. And don't forget, you can contact us for your event coverage, mention, greetings. You have something you want us to talk about, we have a Facebook page, it's Dawn on MBC. If you type it in on Facebook, it will pop up for you. Until next weekend, I am yours sincerely, Jumoke, wishing you a spectacular weekend. Catch you.
Service, our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.